Okay, I am recording. Fine, let us start with the first thing, which is the introductory part. All right, let us. Um, I'll just give you a brief idea about Selenium, that what it is. Okay, the official website of Selenium, first of all, the official website for Selenium is seleniumhq.org. Okay, and it is basically a browser automation testing. Okay, Selenium automates browsers. All right, fine. It is an automation testing which is only for web-based applications. It is not for desktop-based applications. Fine. There is a lot in this website. The most commonly used section for us would be this download section. Okay, we will be doing a lot of things inside it. Okay. Look, the thing is, the problem in learning Selenium for most of the testers is they don't know Java. Okay, most of the testers, they are not aware of the Java language. Is my voice fine now? Is my voice fine now? Like, is my voice breaking? Like Rajiv is saying, my voice is breaking or something. Okay, if my voice breaks, let me know. Then I will restart my router. Okay, maybe that's the. All right. So out here in the download section, you will have the Java version for Selenium available. 3.13 is the latest version. The problem is, the major problem in learning this tool is Java. Okay, and it's not a difficult thing. All right. Look, generally people are little apprehensive about learning Java. All right, because they have never learned it or something. It's not a very difficult thing. Okay. Look, if you learn Selenium with Java, and later on if you have to learn any other tool, for example, Appium. Appium is for mobile automation. Or you want to learn SoapUI or REST Assured, which is for web services. Okay, right. Or if you want to learn, say, JMeter, which is for load testing, then learning other tools, it becomes easy. Imtiaz, please keep your microphones on mute. Learning other tools, it really becomes easy if you learn Selenium with Java. Okay. The major problem over here is Java, and if I will be teaching you Java. I will be teaching you Java parallel to Selenium concepts. All right. Just to confirm, is my voice okay now, or is it still breaking for people? My voice is okay, right? Fine. Okay. So now out here, to start off, the first thing is that please install JDK, Java Development Kit. Okay. Guys, please keep your mics on mute. All right. So go over here, Google, and just type download JDK. Okay. The Java Development Kit. Right. You click on the first link, and rather you can download JDK 8. Okay. You download JDK 8. Fine. And you will get the first link. Okay. For your operating system, you can download, you can accept the license for 64-bit Windows or 32-bit Windows. You can correspondingly download the and install it. Fine. JDK is the complete Java development kit. The next thing which you will be using is Eclipse. Okay, you can go to Eclipse download and go to the first link, right? And over here, you will see the 64-bit Photon download, or you can download any Eclipse. You can download like Eclipse Oxygen. Okay, Oxygen is also a stable release. Okay, you can download and configure it. Right. And for your Mac operating system or Windows operating system, any operating system you can use. Okay, Eclipse IDE for Java EE developers. This one you can download. All right. Fine. Now, once you have downloaded Eclipse, Eclipse will be downloaded as a bundle. Fine. Over here in my PC, hold on. This is Eclipse. Fine. And oh, no, not this one. Sorry. Yeah, this is Eclipse Oxygen in my PC. Fine. And I can just start it. Right, Eclipse will start off. I think most of you must be knowing what Eclipse is. All right. Fine. Now, the thing is, before I start off with Eclipse and before I start telling you about the other things, fine, I would like to talk a little bit about Selenium, that how this tool has evolved, how is it going over a period of time, and where is it going, and what all are the components of this. Okay, right. Look, the thing is, if you talk about Selenium, then right now what we have is in the market, we have something known as WebDriver, which is of the version 3.13. Okay, we have got Selenium RC. So no, not RC, I'm sorry. RC is old now, it's deprecated. We have Selenium IDE. And we have got something known as Selenium Grid as well. Okay, these are the three major components of it. In this course, I will not be talking about Selenium IDE. Look, Selenium IDE is primarily a record and run tool. It only works on Mozilla. Okay, you cannot write dynamic scripts on it. We will be talking about WebDriver. Okay, we will be learning how to write dynamic scripts on WebDriver and how to build a framework on WebDriver. And then we will be using grid. Grid is used for parallel execution. Okay, if you have thousands of test cases and if you want to save time on execution, then you can use Selenium Grid. Or if you want to run tests on different operating systems, okay, one single test case, then also you can use Selenium Grid. So we will be seeing this in the course. Okay, right. If you look at the official documentation of Selenium again, right, if you go to the website seleniumhq.org, right, and if you go to the download section, Imtiaz, I am recording the session, that's not a problem. If you look at this Java section, you will see something known as Java doc. This is the official documentation. There is a changelog section as well, which will, if you click on changelog, then this will actually give you the changes which happen in every version. Right now 3.14 has almost come up. Fine. And it will tell you the changes since the very beginning. Okay. Right. So if any new version comes up, you can refer the change over here. This Javadoc link is the documentation of Selenium. It is the official documentation, but you won't be able to understand this documentation until or unless you don't know the concepts of object-oriented programming. And that is what? In the beginning, I will be covering Java. Most of you must be knowing few of the concepts which I'm going to cover. But I would request you to be with me because there are people over here who don't have a sound programming background. Okay, so I have to cater to everybody. Fine. So the first thing is that you start up your Eclipse. Okay, and in the beginning of Eclipse, when you start up, you will see that this is the workspace window. Okay, with the path of the workspace. Okay, workspace is the place where you write all the code. Fine. So this is the path, and under this path, you have to store all the code. So I'll just call it Selenium August 2018. Selenium Weekend August 2018. So this will be the location where I will be storing all the code for your particular batch. Okay, so just let it launch. Fine. I again repeat, if you're a kind of person who has never done programming, if you don't even know what integer is, what string is, then you better watch the videos first because you will have some background and then join the class. Okay. If you have done C language before or if you have a brief idea, then that will be fine. That will help. Okay. So this is the welcome screen. I'm going to close it and hold on. This is the project explorer on the left side. We keep all the projects under the project explorer. Okay. I'll create a new project. Okay. Under Java, I will call it Java project. Fine. And I will call this project as say day one. Okay. And click on open perspective. Right. So for every day I will be creating a project with you. Okay. Fine. Now if you expand this project, you will see a source folder, GRE system library, which is Java, which is installed on your PC. Okay. If you right click on the project, you will see lot of options. And in this training, we will be looking at these options very carefully. Okay. One of the options over here is properties. Okay, this has got a lot of things into it and we will be looking at this option a lot. Fine, under this there are many other options, right? For example, Java build path is one of the options we'll be using a lot. Okay, under resource, you will have the physical location under which the project is lying. Okay, on the hard drive. Right. If you click on this icon, the project files and all will open up. This is day one, right? You will be able to see the source folder under day one. This source folder is visible inside Eclipse. Rest of the folders are not visible, only the source folder. We'll be keeping the Java code and all everything under this source code. Right. So I'll just make a new Java file out here. I'll create a new class known as, for example, Selenium Basics. Okay. Or I'll just call it basics, simple basics.java. Okay, how to create it? You go to right click, you go to new class. Okay, check on this checkbox public static void main. A new Java file will be formed. Okay, now what is public, what is class, what is static? I will talk about these. I cannot tell you directly what static and all is in the first class. I'm going to take some time. I'll explain that. Right. Okay, so understand one thing that the main function is the starting point. Like in every programming language, you have the main function, right? Over here also you have the main function. Okay, and if you want to type something in Java, the command is system.out.println. Okay, and I can write over here learning Java for Selenium. Okay, system.out.println. You type SYSO, hit the control spacebar of the keyboard and you will get the auto suggest over here which you can select system.out.println. To run this program, you can click on this run button out here, run basics.java, and when you run it, it will run and simply print learning Java for. Okay, fine, at the bottom under the console. Right. Now I'm assuming you know what integer is, int I is 100. I'm assuming you know little bit of programming. This programming is there in every language, C, Java, C++, Python, Ruby, anywhere you go. Integer, string. Then I'm assuming you know if statements, while loops, for loops. Okay. If you don't know these things, then go through the videos first. That will help you a lot. Fine. Because my goal is to start with the concept of object-oriented programming. Fine. All right. But before I jump over to OOPS, there is a concept of class file which I want to explain you. Okay. Right. So if you see, this is the Java file which I had made basics.java. If I right click on this and Imtiaz, hold on, I'll come over to that. Right. If you go to the properties, right, and you go to Java build path, which is the fourth option from the top, you will configure Selenium from here. Okay. Under the resource path, as I had told earlier, you will have the path of the project. If you click on this arrow over here, the project will open up. Right. Under the project, you will have the source. Okay. Source folder will hold basics.java file. Basics.java file is inside the source folder. And under the bin folder, you will be seeing basics.class file. Every Java file is converted to a class file. Okay, and this class file is actually the one which is executed. This class file is like an exe file. Okay, for example, if I make another Java file known as printname.java, and inside it I just type system.out.println Selenium. And if I run this code, this is the run button from where you can run. This will print Selenium. And in the bin folder, you will see print name.class formed. Every Java file is converted to a class file. Every Java file. Okay. Every Java file will be converted to a class file, and this class file is the one which is actually executed. Fine. Now what happens is that when you build a project at times, right, end up building lot of class files. Okay. Sometimes in a project, when you're working in a project, you have lot of class files, like you will have number of class files in a project. Just all right. Are you guys able to hear me? When you answer or ask a question, please answer or answer to everyone so that everybody is able to hear. Okay, right. So out here, when you work on a project, you end up building lot of class files. Okay. Now, how do you give? Maybe there are thousands of class files. Sometimes the client asks for these class files. How do you give them class files to the client? We put all the class files in a single file. This single file is known as a jar file. We put all the class files in a single jar file and we give this jar file to the client. Okay. Rather, if you look at Eclipse, this is JRE system library. JRE system library, this is Java which was installed on your PC. Okay, right. So if you expand this, you will see lot of jar files. Okay, every jar file will have class files. You see these class files? Every jar file will have these class files, and this class file is something like an executable file. Okay, for example, I'll just write system.out.println new date. Fine. And I will import the date class java.util.date. Okay, forget about this, what import is, what new is, right, for a while. If I run this code, it will print the current date, time zone, date, month, time, everything. Okay, right. Look, I never had to write the logic to print the current date. So this is a date class which is lying somewhere inside these jars, in one of these jars, and we are using it. It's an inbuilt feature which I am using. It is coming from these jars. And exactly what happens in Selenium is something on these lines only. Okay, in Selenium, everything is inbuilt and you need to know the commands. Okay, to learn Selenium, it is not like a rocket science or you'll invent something. Everything is inbuilt. For example, this date class was inbuilt. I just used this and I just, printed the current date, time zone, everything. Okay. Similarly, in Selenium also everything is inbuilt and you just need to know the commands, right? So the first thing is that you can download Selenium. Look, I am not teaching you Java first completely and then Selenium. I'll be teaching you parallelly. I'll be teaching you Java, then I'll teach you the concepts of Java and how they are used in Selenium. That's how I'll go about. Okay, so this is the date class which is inbuilt in Java. Similarly, everything is inbuilt in Selenium. To work with Selenium, you need to download Selenium first. Okay, under the download section on the Selenium website, seleniumhq.org/download, right, go and click on this download link. Okay, you will get a zip file, and in my PC, this is the 3.13 version. You'll get a folder like this when you extract the zip file. Okay, and this is the main jar file of Selenium. Selenium has got no exe. Selenium has got pre-built jar files which you download from the Selenium website. This is the main jar file. Okay, this is the sources jar file which contains the main source code of Selenium. Since Selenium is open source, anybody can view the page source. So it's for that, but you can ignore this. Okay, you can ignore this. Right. Client combined, this is the main jar file for Selenium. Okay. And under the libs directory, you will have more jar files. To work with Selenium, you need to include these jar files in Eclipse. There is no exe or something. Okay. So you open up Eclipse and to include the jar files for Selenium in Eclipse, you can just right click on the project and go to the properties section again. Just a minute, guys. Yeah. Go to the properties section again. Go to Java build path. Fine. And you will see four tabs. Go to the libraries tab. Click on add external jars. Fine. And you include this jar file. This is the Selenium main jar file. Okay. Right. And include this jar file in Eclipse. Right. And click on add external jars and go to the lib section and include the other jars as well. Okay, fine. All right, these are the reference libraries. Okay, now what you can do is you can done right. Now you will have this reference library section under which you will be seeing all the jars. If you don't see this reference library section, make sure you are in the Java perspective. Okay, if you click on this icon over here, open perspective, right? And hold on, you will have this Java perspective over here. Okay, fine, you can open this Java perspective, right? And you will have the reference library. Now you can start using the files, the internal Java files or the class files which are there in Selenium. You can start using over here. Okay, right. And hold on. The thing is to understand what these jars they contain and what is there inside it. Right. You can create, hold on. You can create one more project, or let me just create in this project only. I'll create a new file known as a simple file like car.java. Okay, right. And now I'm coming over to object oriented programming because I just cannot explain you what all is there in these jars. Right. Okay. So to understand that, or for me to explain you that, you need to understand the concept of OOP. Okay. Right. Now, anybody with any questions? Just to be very honest, like anything, any questions? Any questions from any side? You can use the chat option. All good so far. In case just watch the recorded video, you'll come to know how did I get this. Now, what are the features of the car? Right. Now, I'm coming over to what an object is, Amit, in some time. Okay. So, out here, name of the car. And I'm taking a very simple example. These are the two features of the car. Okay. And I will create a new class known as test car with the main function. Now, I'm going to do something known as creating object. Okay, right. And how do you create the object? You create the object by writing new car. If I give this command, then that means, right, you are creating the object of the class. Fine. What happens in the memory when you create the object of the class? In the memory, when you create the object, listen to this carefully. It is very important. The object is created like this. It will have two properties, name, cost. Okay, right. And I can create as many objects as I want. I've created three objects. So what will happen in the memory is that three objects will be created. Each will be having name and cost. Okay. Each object will have the two properties, name and cost. Okay. Now, how do you access this? How do you access this object? You have to access it with something known as object reference. Something has to point to that object to access the object. So we give the object reference like car C1 equals to this, car C2 is this, car C3 is this. So what will happen in the memory is that C1, C2 and C3 hold on Amit, you'll come to know. Okay, will be the references. Reference is different than object. Right. Reference, object reference is different than the object. C1, C2 and C3 are object references which point towards these objects. Okay, with C1, C2, C3, I can access these objects and I can change the value of these objects. Okay, I can write over here, for example, C1 dot name is car A. C1 dot cost is 100. So what will happen is that this object will have name A, cost 100. Similarly, I can name C2 dot name is car B, C2 dot cost is 200. Okay, so this will become my car B and cost 200. And similarly, C3 dot name is car C, C3 dot cost is 300. So car C cost 300. Okay, so with C1, C2 and C3, you can access the parameters of the objects. Fine. And you can print say C1 dot name. So basically every object will have a different name if I print them. You see that? There is just one class car having two variables. But by creating multiple instances or multiple objects of the class car, I am able to give each object a different value. And with the help of object reference, I can access the object. Object and object references both are different. On the left side, I have the object reference. On the right side, I have the object. Okay, right. Okay, fine. Like perfect example can be I can declare say car C4 equals to null. That means C4 is not pointing towards any object. Okay, right. And on next line I can make C4 point towards car object. Object is okay, object is different and object reference is different. Okay, fine. Now there is a twist over here. If I write if I write C1 equals okay, then what happens is that in the memory C1 will stop pointing here and C1 will point towards the location where C2 is pointing. Okay, right? Okay, so one object can have multiple object references. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, C1 equals to C2. Okay, what I'm trying to tell you is that one object can have multiple object references. Alright, what do you mean by C1 equals to C2 now? If I print the same thing and if I run this, you will see the output as BBC. Now C1 and C2 are pointing towards the same object. So C1 and dot name and C2 dot name will print the same thing. If if I write C1 dot name is Z. Okay. And what will happen in the memory? This will be changed to Z. Okay. Right. So if I print the same thing now and run this code, that Z Z and Z. One object reference can change the state of the object. The other object reference will get the updated state back. Okay. Right. Okay. Fine. Now this is done. Technically, technically what I taught you was you have an object and you have an object. Objects they are static in memory, they won't move. Object references they can point towards different objects. Okay, right. In the class car, you have got just two variables. This is known as a non-static global variable. What is static? I am coming over to it. This is known as a non-static global variable again. Okay, right. Okay, fine. And you have a function public void. In this function, I'll print car moving and the name of the function. This function is known as non-static function. Okay, right. And how do you use it? This function move will be the part of every object. Okay, now out here I will write C1 dot, I will get the function move in C1, C2 dot move, C3 dot move. Okay, and I will print over here system dot out dot print ln. I'll put this line. Fine. So when you run this code, you will have this demarcating line and it will print car moving Z, Z and C. Look, move function is a non-static function. When C1 calls it, it will print the name of C1. Okay. When C2 calls it, it will print the name of C2. It will print the name of C3. So that is why it is printing Z, Z and C. Okay. Right. So this is a non-static function. All right. There is something known as static. There is something known as non-static. What is static? If I declare a variable, say int, say int wheel equals to, okay. Now I'll declare wheels for every car. Okay. For every car object, I will write C1 dot wheels are 4, C2 dot wheels are 4, hold on, C3 dot wheels are 4. Now this doesn't make sense. Okay, C1 wheels are 4, C2 wheels are 4, C3 wheels are 4. Every object has same number of wheels. It really doesn't matter or it really doesn't make sense that I keep the wheels variable in every object. So what we do is that we make the wheels variable static. This becomes a static global variable. Now what do you mean by static? When you make it static, you move it to a location like this in the memory. Okay, this location is common for all the objects. Okay, you move the wheels at a common location for all the objects and it will no longer be the part of the object. Okay, right. Okay, right. And out here, you are not supposed to access it with the object. You will see a yellow line coming up. This is a warning. It is saying that wheels is static. It is not the part of the object. Don't access it with object. Okay. Okay. Right. So what we do is that we don't access the static variables like static stuff can be accessed without the object by directly with the class name. You can write car dot wheels as 4. If you write car dot wheels, then all the car objects will have 4 wheels. Okay. So static stuff is something which can be accessed directly with the class. Non-static, like uh, name and cost, the function, it has to be accessed with the object. Okay. Right. Fine. So let us do one thing. So far so good. Out here, just let me start recording. All right. Yeah. Out here we had seen what static is, what non-static is, right? And how this is used in Selenium. Okay. How this is used in Selenium. Let us let us make some examples of programs in Selenium. Okay. Look out here. If you go to the website of Selenium official website, this is the Java doc, the official documentation. These are all the classes. We make objects of these classes and we work with them. Okay. Look, you don't need to remember all these classes. Nobody remembers. Okay. Right. So out here, if you scroll down, you will see something known as WebDriver. Okay. What is WebDriver? Basically, WebDriver is an interface. Okay. Right. And these are the different classes. Now, what is an interface? I will talk about that later on. Okay, these are the various driver classes. Alright, for example, Firefox Driver, as the name suggests, it will help you work on Firefox. Edge Driver will help you work on Edge. Chrome Driver will help you work on Chrome. So in Selenium, what we do is that we create the objects of these classes. Okay, for example, if I talk about Chrome, fine. And if I just create a new class known as Selenium Basics. Okay, so Chrome driver is one of the internal classes in Selenium. Okay, if I create the object of this class, if I write new Chrome driver, I'll get an error. You have to import it. Make sure you have imported the Selenium jars. This Chrome driver class is present in one of these jar files. Okay, you import this Chrome driver class. I've created the object of this internal class Chrome driver, and when I run this code, you will see that a blank Chrome will open up for me. It won't open up for you, okay, but for me it will open up. Okay, this is a blank Chrome browser. Look, I'll tell you there is some setting which you need to do on your PC to make Chrome work. Okay, go to the official website of Selenium. Fine, go to the download section. Right. And out here you will have this, scroll down, you will have this third party browser finding. Okay, this is Jetcode Chrome driver. Okay, you click on this link and go to the latest release, click on this and download this exe file. Okay, download it for 64-bit or 32-bit operating system Windows. This same link will work for both 32-bit and 64-bit. For Mac, or link will work. Okay, so this link, if you click on this, then under this you have, hold on, you will have this exe file, chrome driver.exe, which will download. Don't run this exe. Okay, right, you will get nothing. Right, and copy the path of this exe. Go over here and type system.set property webdriver dot chrome dot driver and give the path of the exe, that is D drive drivers, common drivers, chrome driver dot exe. Okay, right, and create the object of this. So you have to give this particular line system.set property webdriver.chrome.driver, because this is a driver exe which is given by the Google guys, Google Chrome guys. You have to give it in the path, then only you will be able to work with Chrome. Okay, so out here you can also give the object reference. You can write Chrome driver cd equals to this, and with cd you will get a lot of non-static properties. Okay, right, and out here you will get functions like, for example, get. Go to the URL http say bbc.com. So this get function will take you to the website. Mentioning the protocol is important. Don't forget to mention http. And when you run this code, you see that it reaches bbc.com. Okay, fine. And similarly, I won't go ahead in Chrome. You have got Firefox Driver, which is for Firefox. Okay, if you go to the official website of Selenium again and go to the download section, then out here you will find third-party browser drivers not developed by Selenium HQ, Mozilla Gecko driver. Okay, you click on this latest link and you can download the zip file for 64-bit Windows, 32-bit Mac, Linux, anything. Okay, it will give you this geckodriver.exe. To work with Firefox, you need to write system.set property. Look, system is an internal class in Java. Set property is a static function inside it. That is why I'm able to directly access it. I told you, right? Static can be accessed directly with the name of the class. Right. And in the key, you can write webdriver.jetcode gecko.driver, and in the value you can give the path of gecko.driver.exe on your PC. Okay, fine, and you create the object of Firefox Driver. Okay, right. Firefox Driver is an inbuilt driver class which helps you work on Firefox. Okay, and you can simply run this code. It will launch Firefox. A blank Firefox will be launched. Okay, right. You can take this Firefox to any website. You can write firefoxdriver.get http yahoo.com. It will take you to Yahoo. Now there are few things which you have to remember for these browsers. First of all, for Chrome, please note that you work with latest Chrome driver.exe. In case of Firefox, suppose I'm just taking an example, the latest version of Firefox is 6 and Selenium 3.13, which is the latest version, it is supporting the Firefox. And tomorrow if the version gets upgraded to 61, then 3.13 will not support. Okay, if the version gets upgraded to 61, that 3.13 will not support. So what you need to do is you need to wait for the one upgraded version of Selenium, or you need to downgrade the Firefox version. So you have to be careful with this. Make sure you work with the latest Gecko driver.exe as well. Okay, and also preferably turn off automatic updates in Firefox. Go to Tools Options and Updates. Check this option, never check for updates. Okay, please don't let Firefox upgrade itself, otherwise at times it creates an issue because the new version is generally not supported. Fine. Similarly, you have got Internet Explorer driver. Okay, for Internet Explorer driver, please download this 32-bit I or 64-bit IEXE for your depending on it. Right. And I have this iDriver server.exe. Fine. This is 32-bit IE, not your PC. 32-bit Internet Explorer or 64-bit Internet Explorer. You can work with Eclipse Oxygen, Eclipse Luna, any version. Amit, it doesn't matter. As it out here, can create the object of internet. Look, if I just write internet, the driver for Internet Explorer is Internet Explorer driver. It is mentioned in the Java docs as well. Hold on. If you go to the Java doc and if you go to web driver over here, then it is mentioned over here Internet Explorer driver. This is for I. Right. You just write internet and hit control space bar. You will get the names of all the classes starting with the word internet. And you can go to Internet Explorer driver, select it. It will be automatically imported and you can create the object. Okay. For Internet Explorer also you need to download the exe and you need to give the path. You need to give the command webdriver.i.driver and Internet Explorer driver.system.set property webdriver.iDriver to the path of Internet Explorer driver exe. And you can write i.get go to the URL http yahoo.com. Fine. So when you run this code, this will open I and take you to Yahoo. But with I, you again have to be actually very careful with different settings. In my PC, it is running. Maybe in your PC, it never runs. Okay. First of all, make sure that in I zoom level is 100%. Okay. Go to view, zoom, and make it 100%. Okay. Right. And out here, go to tools, internet options, go to advanced, and you will see that allow active content to run files on my PC. Okay, click on this checkbox. Okay, allow active content. Then go to tools options, go to security. There are four tabs over here. Please uncheck the option enable protected mode. Actually, you have to disable the protected mode for all four of them. Okay, so disable protected mode and make sure you work with the latest exe as well. So you have to do these, you have to be careful with this NI. Fine. Okay, now these days Microsoft Edge has come up in Windows 10. Microsoft Edge is there. Now rather than all the Windows, Microsoft Edge is there. To work with Edge, you have this Edge driver. Okay, you have to create the object of Edge driver. Okay, and import it. There is an exe for Edge driver as well. All right. If you visit the official website of Selenium again, and if you go to the download section, you will have the Microsoft Edge driver. It will take you to the Microsoft website actually. And out here, you will see that there are different releases. Okay. If you open up Edge, if you go to the settings of Edge, you will see the Edge HTML version as 17.1713. Please download the release, the exe for that particular version, which is mentioned in your Edge. Okay, right. I have, sorry, I have it over here. Don't run it. I'm sorry. I executed. You simply need to write the line for Edge system.set property webdriver.edge.driver to the value of the exe path. Okay, fine. And you write edge driver.get, go to the URL http yahoo.com. Okay, so when you run this code, it gives you an error. Okay, make sure that edge is closed. Okay, only one instance of edge can run. Okay, run this now and it will open up edge. Edge has to be closed. Okay, there is some issue coming up. Okay, I'll check out my Edge, but in your system it will run. Actually, I was doing some proxy settings with the socket exceptions coming up. Okay, I was doing some proxy settings with Edge and also maybe that's the issue. Okay, you can run all of them at a one time as well. I'll tell you if you use Selenium Create a Myth, you can do that. Right. Now, for every driver, you have to write system.set property the path exe. Okay, you can skip this. You can do a setting in your PC. Keep all the driver files under a single folder. Copy the path of the folder. Go to My Computer Properties. Go in your My Computer Properties and go to Advanced System Settings. Go to Environment. Click on this button, Environment Variables, and set a variable known as path. This path variable, edit it. Okay, in Windows 7 or Windows 8, you will get a window like this. Okay, so basically you have to edit it, create in Windows 10 you need to create a new variable, give the path of the drivers. In Windows 7 or 8, what you need to do is you will get a window like this. Go to the end of this variable value, don't fiddle with anything, put a semicolon and give the path. Okay, in Windows 7 or 8, and in Windows 10 you can directly give it. Right, restart your PC, and after restarting your PC, if you directly give this like Chrome driver equals to Chrome driver, you don't need to give the path of exe. It will automatically pick up from the system variables. See that? This has okay. In my PC, I've kept it in the system variables. So I hope everything is fine. Right now, this was about different drivers. The question which comes into the mind after, yeah, you can keep it anywhere. I mean, after doing this, the question which comes into mind is that for every browser there is a different driver class. Does that mean that I will have to create object for every driver class separately and write the code for every driver class separately? If I have to test a single website, will I write the code for Chrome separately, Firefox separately, Internet Explorer separately? Okay, I won't do that. Okay, because the answer to that comes up from the concept of interfaces, which we will be studying. Okay, so we will be studying about interfaces as well, right? But before that, let me talk about two things. One of the most important things, rather, it is debugging. It is not related to Selenium, it is related to Java. At times when you are writing big programs and if you are stuck somewhere, you need to debug your programs. Okay, okay, right. So out here, I'll create a new class known as test, and inside it I will print. This is just a normal program which I'm just telling you hello there. Then I'll declare a variable int I equals to 100, increment the value of I by 10, print the value of I, right. So if I run this program, it will print 110. Okay, fine. It will print 100. If I debug this program. Debug means run it line by line. If I put a breakpoint on this line, if I double click on this line, a blue box, a blue spot will appear. This is known as a line breakpoint. If I run this code in the debug mode, if I click on this debug icon, you'll get this window, confirm the prospective switch. Okay, right, you click on yes, and the window will switch over to the debug perspective. Okay, where you will have this yellow, oh, sorry, green line, not the yellow line. Double quotes is for string Amit. Okay, wherever you have strings, you put double. Program will stop on this line. You will have a variables tab on the top, wherein you can see the value of every variable. If you hit F6 of the keyboard, this will run line by line. With F6, this will run line by line. If I hit F6 now, you will see the value of I is 100. Even if I move the mouse over I, you will be able to see the value of I. If I increment I by 10, it will become 110 over here. Okay, F6 will run it line by line. If I hit F8, it will run like a normal Java program. Okay, so if I run in the debug mode, it will stop here. If I hit F6, it will run line by line, and you will be able to see the values of the variables in real time on the and under the variable section. And if you hit F8, it will run like a normal Java program. So F6 will run it line by line, and F8 will run it like a normal program. Okay, you can switch back to the normal Java perspective. Click on this icon and click on Java out here. It will switch back to the normal perspective. Okay, right? I hope you got my point. Fine. Now, done, done. Fine. Now, the thing is, I'll stop here because it's been, I think I've taught you a lot, right? Although time is left, I think it's more than enough. Okay.